Hello, welcome back. 66. So it's been some time since I brought the materials down here that I took from the sawmill and that I prepared for this structure. And I thought that, it appears as though I only have one short one for the back. I have two tall ones for the front. So I went and grabbed this. This is cedar. This was leftover from when I built the shed last summer, which is approximately, I can kind of see the shed from here. It's approximately like a football field away up the creek. So I went and grabbed that, and I'll use this. These are hemlock, and these are all the stuff from the trees that I cut from around here, either that tree there or the ones back there, the little trees. But yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I was sure I brought two shorter ones, and I can only find one. So I'll have to use this cedar, which is fine. And actually, after this, we'll go over and I'll show you what's going on. Unless you want it to all just be a mystery, what I'm doing. Well, So truthfully, a good portion of the inspiration for the fort, the style of the build, came from the way I did this shed last year. So I've previously made timber frame, like all milled timber frame structure, not traditional timber frame, but squared timbers in a very basic timber frame way, like a non-traditional way. And I've also made roundwood structure, which is my pole barn shed. And I wanted to combine or amalgamate both of those ways so that you kind of get the benefits of a squared timber in terms of building an assembly for squareness and plumbness and all of the benefits of building with square, but the look of round. So the way I did this shed last year was that style, and I really liked it. It does make it easier to work with, having the flat sides to kind of put your milled timber work together. I'm going to do the fort a little bit differently. I'm just going to do it backwards to this way. So rather than the rounded stuff being on the outside, I'm going to have the rounded stuff on the inside and the square stuff to the outside, and then I'll just apply all of my slabs to that, whereas this way I had to install sort of batten boards or whatever on the inside of the timbers to attach my slabs to. So just different looks, but similar style. That was quicker. I'm trying to figure out now for the overhang, side to side and front to back, and I think that side to side a foot is probably plenty. So if I do I need to go back up to the house, to the sawmill now. I figure if I have the two side to side ones are 10 feet long, a foot, basically a foot overhang on each side. And then front to back, I'll do, I think 12 feet, just so I have more of an overhang at the front. I don't know what I've got for material. I have tons of wood for sure. I might have to dip into some cedar because of course I want to try to keep some of the roundness. So I don't want really big logs unless I quarter them, but that's getting, we'll see what there is when I get up there. Cedar obviously isn't the most structural, but I think in this instance it's going to be okay. I think. Here we are back at the sawmill. It's been a while since I've been here, and I felt like for a period of time I was here a lot. I like milling, but filming it can be a little bit hard sometimes because it's very monotonous, like the deck boards. But anyway, I need to do some cleanup. There might be some usable things in there in terms of slabs, in case I need more. Yeah, let's take a look at what I've got. I've got a lot of stuff. That is a lot of cedar. There's some skinny ones in there that are going to be perfect for what I want. There is that hemlock, the one that I've got. And another one. I don't know how I'll have to measure those. But that's the diameter really that I'm looking for. I needed to pull that one out, and that was one of the hemlocks from down where I'm putting the fort / structure, whatever we want to call it. Is it a micro cabin or is it a fort? Anyway, I hadn't decided if I was going to keep the curve and work with it, but I don't think it's in the cards. I think I'm going to cut it there, and I'll get a 12-foot there. That one over there is a 10-foot, and I'll get a 10-foot cedar and then a 12-foot cedar. My favorite chore. One down, 3 to go. So I'm getting rid of 2 sides, obviously. So I always try to pick like which 2 sides to get rid of. And on this one, I think I'm going to get rid of the knotty side. It's a very, very knotty side. I fear I kind of screwed up. Just thinking about the rafter, the ones that I'm going to use for the rafters, I don't have them the same dimension. The way I have it now is a rounded side is going to go against a milled surface. So that's going to make it tricky because for the rafters, so the 12 footers are for the front to back. And I usually have done, because I do kind of like a post and beam or a timber frame style, I have typically made those 2 rafters into beams so that they're the same width for all the walls, if that makes sense. So I just gotta think about this. I probably should have done, rather than 2 sides at a 90 degree for all of the rafter stuff, I should probably have done one side and then flip it so the 2 flat sides are top and bottom, not 90 degrees. I gotta think about this. Maybe I should draw this out a little bit. I didn't really draw things out, so I don't even have anything to show you. But the point is that if I'm going to be able to use this, I think I need to cut this a little bit flat so that the boards have something flat and consistent to get nailed into. And then from there, I have to work with whatever width this is going to end up being. And all of my rafters then have to be the same as whatever this ends up being. I'm so frustrated. I screwed that up again. And it hasn't even been that long of a day, but I'm like, is this a sign I should stop doing this today? Because I just took the 10-footer, which is the side to side, and made it the 4-inch dimension that the front to back rafter beam should be. You know, I'm just winging this. So that's what happens when you wing stuff, is you end up making mistakes. It is possible to salvage this. So it's actually cut at 11 and a half feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 11 and a half. So what I could do is cut the actual 12-footer down to 11 and a half, and the overall length front to back is going to be half a foot less. Did I mention that I was expecting an EcoFlow River 3, that is? Labor and delivery was a breeze. And my girl has arrived onto this earth, coming in at a 7.7 to 7.8 pounds. And in my opinion, stinking cute. Thank you to EcoFlow for sponsoring this video. If you are looking to start small but power strong, this just might be the power station for you. The EcoFlow River 3 is in fact the most cost-effective entry-level power station on the market. Time for show and tell. Okay, it's pretty faded now. Can you see that one? And that one? That scratch is healing up nicely. But this one's been a doozy. Surely I can't be the only one that thinks of these weird things, right? Can you see that? Here are the rafters that I'm going to need. So 1, 2, 3 on the inside. I have my 2 over top of the posts. And then I need 2 more, and this only goes out less than a foot. All the ones I have in the middle are really wide. Like, this is what I have. And it's cedar, 4 inches thick, partially round log. I think that's plenty strong. There's another one. What I was thinking I could do for the end ones, so that I don't really have to dip it. I don't know why I have this hesitation to dip into all of my logs, but I'm trying to think of maybe, I had an idea, put it that way. I'm gonna take the slabs. I actually had cut off another one here that's 4 inches thick. And I'm going to take this one and put the 2 sides on it so that it's 4 inches. And then those are going to be my 2 end rafters. So not as strong, but still, I think, good enough for what this is. Jew and Jew, you'll come on with me. So I have the last one on, and I think this is going to be all that I will need. I just need to trim this a little bit. It's quite long. And then I think I'll switch over the attachment to the forklift, and then I'll take that stuff down. Okay, here's the thing. I didn't actually intend on having rafters that are going to look like this, but I kind of got myself stuck. I was thinking I could cut these in half, right? Like you could cut these like this, and then I would have two rafters out of this one log. But I also think that keeping them as a whole log would look nicer. So I really, yeah, this totally wasn't the look I was going for, to be honest, for the rafters. But I think best to just get everything down there and kind of get everything put together and see. Oh. Yeah, I just hope it doesn't look, I hope these don't look too big compared to everything else. You know what I mean? These are monstrous. And this is the smallest diameter logs I had left in this length. So I kind of didn't have much choice. $6.20. Gets dark so quick now. I want to just set these posts. They're just sitting in their little holes, but I want to just throw a couple temporary screws in, get them plumb. And I want to throw one or two of the beams up and see what they look like. Oh my lord, this is heavy. Maybe I can't even lift this. Nope. Shit. This hemlock is so freaking heavy. I need a ladder. Ouch. Definitely have to bring a ladder down. In a way, I'm glad I'm using more cedar than the hemlock, because the hemlock is so heavy. Plus, the way I'm going to put it on isn't actually the way it's going to be. It's actually supposed to be on the round side down, but I wonder, see, I should have milled that differently. The way it's going to sit is this is actually going to be rotated, and the post is going to sit right here on this beam. It's going to be twisted. And then I would have to cut this out to fit this. But I'm looking at it going, I wonder if I should have just milled the top to give myself a dimensional thing, because it still looks pretty roundish. But do I feel like taking it all the way back up? Not really. I could always chainsaw it, or also, because I did turn it around, the log, and it won't stay like that, of course, because it's on the round part. But I have to then figure out a way to line up the back so that when I put all the boards on the back, that's all flush, and then keep it there so that I can mark. It's a lot more complicated to do it the way I'm doing it, basically, in a nutshell. I should have done that, milled the top. So I have the EcoFlow River 3 down here with me, have it powering my lights. And while this is fully capable of powering some small corded power tools, I mostly have battery operated tools, but there's one corded tool. One that I don't have a battery operated one for, at least at this house, is a sander. And these aren't a big deal, but they bother me. I'm the only one that's gonna notice it because I did this, but it's my deck and I wanna fix it. So I'm gonna use this little gaffer to do it.
The River 3 series incorporates the cutting-edge X-Core technology suite from their flagship Delta Pro 3. The River 3 features X GAN power, which is gallium nitride, X quiet, X stream, X boost, and X guard. And although I'm making a lot of noise with this sander right now, the River 3 is as quiet as a mouse. Using the X quiet technology, it operates at less than 30 decibels, which is almost unnoticeable and can be reduced even further when used below 50 watts.
And even possibly in a pinch, operating a portable fridge if needed. I think where this unit shines is for the adventurer. This is totally meant to go on adventures with you. Hiking, kind of like backpack camping, kayaking, canoeing trips, that kind of thing, cycling.
Alright, so what is this gallium nitride? Well, it's the next generation semiconductor material that EcoFlow is using to replace traditional silicon-based materials in the transistor manufacturing. And because it's more energy efficient than silicon, they are able to minimize no-load energy loss. This greatly extends the runtime, reduces the size and noise level, making it the top performing unit in the entry-level power station market.
For all of you adventure people out there, I really think this power station is perfect for you. It literally does fit in your backpack, and I hiked around with it, I have biked around with it, and it's so convenient that way.
Because gallium nitride will generate less heat, they were able to shrink things down even more, allowing a more compact assembly of components, which reduces the unit size by 30% compared to other 300-watt power stations on the market. The gallium nitride gives this unit 2 times the runtime and networking time, which provides up to 15 hours longer runtime when you're using less than 100-watt appliances, such as Wi-Fi routers, lights, fans, and air pumps.
It's such a beautiful night. This is it, you guys. You gotta dream big, but pack small. Are we all glad I am not with child? Steve and I had decided to not have kids. That decision was also made for me medically, and it's not ever been a thing that I've been sad about or felt ripped off about or I've never felt anything other than an opportunity to do other things in my life. Like it was like a door closed and I just walked around that door and saw all the other doors that could open for me in life. And at that time, so that was in 2020, that Steve and I had decided to take on the dog rescue a bit more. You know, before we wouldn't even think like, oh my God, 2 dogs is a lot and 3 dogs is a lot. And then we took 4 and then we had 5. So that was something that was in the plan for us, not having our own kids. And then the other thing that I did was I basically started this YouTube channel knowing that I wasn't going to have kids. So it's because I didn't have kids that I'm doing this. And so I'm really just grateful. I'm grateful that I get to mother the pets. And I'm grateful that I get to, do these types of things that are really fun and creative for me. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for watching, for supporting, for hanging out with me. Good morning. Came down with a few more things, including a ladder and a plan. I think I need to, for the sake of time, go with the easier route this way. One of the difficulties that I feel like is just lifting the things and getting them up and down and doing that multiple times to get those notches into those side beams. Yeah, I don't want to, like that one hemlock is really heavy. So I don't want to get hurt and it might take me forever. So I'm going to pick what I think is the easier way and put them up, not the way I was intending. The difference in the look is very subtle anyway. And you still get to see the roundedness. It's just shifted a little bit. So I'm going to take that cedar one down and I got to draw a straight line. I'm not taking them back up to the sawmill to do that. I will do it either with the circular saw or my chainsaw. I don't have a chalk line here. This. I can only cut this deep down anyway. Could also, now that if I have a back that's consistent, I could just cut these parts out for each rafter. This hemlock one isn't as off from one length from one end to the other. So I'm just gonna take the chainsaw and do a few little smoothing points. I mean, this was the whole point of milling part of it, was so that I didn't have to do this, but I kind of screwed up, I guess, so. I don't have a chalk line, I have this string line, so what I am doing is just taking it and running it along and just looking down to give myself a general look at what I could trim. One thing I learned with this is once you get the roof on, you're not going to notice it. A little discrepancy here and there. So I'm trying to keep that in mind too. Time to plumb all of these and get them secured in. I'm choosing to put the cedar on the back because I think the cedar is the one I'm going to have to modify the most when I put the rafters on. And it's shorter, so it's easier to access. Ideally, otherwise I was going to put the hemlock on the lower part because the hemlock is ridiculously heavy, but it'll be harder to work from it with a chainsaw up higher, I think. I don't know. We'll see. These are salvaged timber screws, like from the deck, so I'm going to put those down. How much do you want to bet I can't lift that up there? I don't think I can. It's pretty heavy. It's wet. Cedar is nice and light. I put a couple of supports, like so that the thing doesn't want to fall off, just in case. And my back. Oh my God. That might have been the hardest thing I've ever had to do. It's not over yet. I need a taller ladder. That's all I'll have to do for now. No go. I can't get that thing out. I tried with a vice grip to reverse it out, but it won't, so I'll have to cut it. I know I had this trouble when I was doing the other things that I've built. I think people said soap. I'm also going to pre-drill a little bit. Hopefully this goes up on the other side. If not, I'll have to cut it too and then do something else. Next is the rafter beams, as I call them. Really actually wishing I used all cedar at this point. This hemlock is so heavy. Ay. I kind of have to make some decisions about how I'm going to put these rafters on. Am I going to bird's mouth them or not? Because you have to get them all up and then mark them and then take them down, or at least flip them and move them a lot. I definitely need a taller ladder to do the front area, but I just am gonna like take a peek at that one, make some marks, cut it down a little bit and see how it sits. I really don't think I'm going to do the ones at the front because there's a lot of the roundness of the log that I have to deal with, and it's just getting complicated. I think I can manage to do the ones at the back, like to do little bird's mouths. So aside from that, I'll just be using big structural screws. So I think it should be okay. All right, this is what we're dealing with here, folks. We got a notch here and we got a notch here. And that notch goes like that. I had to go up, feed the dogs. Steve got home. Dilly came by for some money. I had to sell something, so I had to wait for someone to come so she could buy the thing. I've got bread in the oven and dinner on the go. So I've got like 30 minutes to quickly whip these rafters up. So that's approximately where they're all gonna go. And the question is do those rafters like that look ridiculous? Like as wide as they are? Should I cut them? I don't think I'm gonna cut them because I'd have to do it with a chainsaw and that wouldn't look very nice. I'm probably just gonna leave it. All right, night number 2 down the new place. It's coming together. Gonna change some things, but tomorrow the end rafters are too skinny in comparison to the rest of them, so I have a plan. I was really craving a margarita, man. My back is killing me. Don't have a margarita, so I brought a pear cider. Cheers. So this unit also is a fast charging unit. So earlier today I took it up. I took it up with me when I went to go feed the dogs and take them for a short walk. So in that 1 hour, I was fully charged. It goes from 0 to 100% in 1 hour. And that is a really handy feature, let me tell you. Of the ways it can be charged AC, car, generator, gas generator, and solar. I'm always so keen about solar charging. And when the EcoFlow River 3 gets released, there's going to be a little solar panel released at the same time that's just for it. And it's a 45 watt solar panel, USB-C type. It is going to weigh 1.4 kilograms and it folds down to the size of a laptop. So perfect for taking with you on your adventures. Here's the thing, if I could get the darn thing started, we would have gone on a backcountry adventure on the dirt bike. I bought this vintage 1977 Yamaha DT100 a couple of months ago, and it ran really well to start. We had to work on it and fix a few things, but now it seems like, I don't know, it just doesn't want to start. And I don't know if the fuel is maybe too rich or if it's a carburetor issue. If anyone in the dirt bike expertise out there has any tips or tricks, let me know. But if you are to take your River 3 out on a backcountry excursion with you, as you should, you can rest assured that it is ultra durable. It is waterproof, drop resistant, and fireproof. So not only can it withstand high temperatures, if you drop it in water, you can also rest assured that it won't explode or start a fire.
The River 3 offers a less than 20 millisecond automatic switchover during a power outage, ensuring uninterruptible power for your essential devices or appliances. So, unlock next level power for every scenario with EcoFlow's new River 3. Enjoy an exclusive pre-order offer at EcoFlow Tech. Use my code in the description for an extra 5% off a River 3 standalone, valid until October 25th.
Good morning. I was just up at the sawmill cutting a couple of slabs down to the 4 inches that the rafters are. I wasn't liking how skinny the end rafters were, and I could have taken a whole log, cut it down like I did a rafter, and then cut it down the middle and had two ends. Could have done that, but I thought I have so many slabs. Why don't I take one of the slabs that was from the 12-footer from one of the rafters and cut it down and then join them together so they're a little, so it looks a little bit beefier. So I'll take those down, screw them together so that they're one piece. Okay, I definitely think it looks better. I still think it would have looked best if I'd have done it the other way, but not gonna do it. So really what I need to do today is set all of the rafters, and then that'll be it for this video. Don't go around town looking like this. I'll just show you what I'm doing. I wish I could find my little DJI action camera and show you what I'm doing, but I can't seem to find the darn thing. I'm just taking the level and going along approximations, you know, from one to the other. So chainsawing out this little section and then chainsawing out my bird's mouth. The definite downside to working with a battery operated chainsaw with only one battery when you didn't fully charge it the night before is the battery dies all the time. Twice now I've had to wait and charge it up for a bit. 12th time is a charm. Yes! Yes! Perfect! God, I like that. Okay, the back is done. That took a bit. I also had to go to town and get some longer timber screws for the front. Okay, so I just did this one and the second one. So let's see. Pretty freaking good. Okay, that's it, you guys. End this video. I hope it's not too long. I think it's going to be long. But next, should I do the roof or should I start the walls? Both have their benefits. Just have to wait and see. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.